Truckistan or Truckistan. I don't know what Truckistan. I'm sure it's got to be Truckistan, surely, like Pakistan. But they're the free state of Truckistan, and the free people fighting for that are winning. They're winning good. They're actually getting their victories.
Excellent.
And I thought we'd start off by just checking out what's still going on in Truckistan, in Ottawa. So if we load this up, we have some footage here of some guy just recording outside his apartment. I didn't actually download this because I thought it would be really irritating, but now I'm tempted. I wonder if you can hit play for just like a couple of seconds, John, because it's quite loud. That's for like 40-odd seconds solid. Just that guy filming outside his apartment. The honks will continue until
Very
freedom
musical,
improves.
actually. You feel like it's going to swing into a full symphony, but it never does. Just the constant, there's that chord that they're setting up there.
They've got time on their hands. Lads, if you're watching.
Yeah, retune your horns,
Oh, Canada. Like, come on. So if we go to the next one, we can also see a really funny example of the counter-protest that was going to take place against the honks. So this is the Karen protest. As you can see there, the city of Ottawa is unable to support the permit of such an event because of COVID-19. So they got their permit taken away because of COVID.
Dear.
Don't you know? Trust the science, boys. No protests. Too bad. So the cosmopolitans are going absolutely insane on this. And I really think we should start making that divide more clear in what it is in politics, which is, of course, I love that meme as well. The divide between two groups in the West, United States, Canada, everywhere, is always between the cosmopolitans and the people not in the, well, hive cities. And if we go forward, we can see their response to this. So not only did they get their thing cancelled, that should be something else, I think. But if we go to the next one, maybe that's... No, there's a disclosed TV link that should be coming up. I don't know if you can get that, John, because I wasn't going for the Winter Olympics instead. But it's the fact that the Ottawa Council are absolutely going insane. So this is the council here meeting, and they said, quote, "We need to cut off the pipeline of funding to these mercenaries that are unlawfully protesting and occupying our communities."
It's amazing how the cosmopolitan elite reacts with this sort of unhinged hysteria when the working class does anything contrary to their expectations, other than just sort of sitting down, being quiet and being invisible.
Yeah. I saw the quote, the people who feed Canada are the people who are freeing Canada. Like, they've turned out, again, our communities. I mean, this is the capital, where the parliament is, but that's only for you. Only for you. No one else
Whenever these
allowed it.
people use the word "our," like "our democracy," it's always very revealing, I
Very
think.
sus. She also says in here that people should call GoFundMe and demand that they cease sending money to these mercenaries, and they should also look as a council at suing GoFundMe. But she's like, yes, but legal procedures take time. It's like, no, it's because you don't have a case. And any lawyer you go to is going to be like, get the hell out of my office, or just give me money to file a frivolous lawsuit, I suppose. Yeah. But if we, the news on that as well is, if we can go to the next one, the National Post reporting here, GoFundMe suspends Truckers Convoy Fund at $10 million, and some donors are just receiving unsolicited refunds, which is just ridiculous. So if you were involved in this donation, of course, find other ways to give them money. I'm sure there are going to be other ways to give money other than having to give it to this dog S of a company.
But this is how the establishment controls the narrative of protest. They are able to essentially prevent protests on the side they don't like from getting funding and getting resources in this way, because they can shut down forces like GoFundMe and so on.
What is the possible argument for this? They cause disruptions in the transport network. BLM were burning stuff down, and you could GoFundMe for them. I know it's evident at this point with GoFundMe. I mean, come on. You remember Carl Rittenhouse? Remember how he was a horrible mass murderer and therefore couldn't be allowed to raise money?
Yeah.
Yeah? No, he's actually a boy who did nothing wrong.
Right.
The evidence showed it. But let's move forward, because there's also those cosmopolitans losing their mind. One here is a guy who came out and started screeching at the truckers to shut the F up because he haven't slept in 5 days, which, I, as someone who has been kept up by loud noises at night, all throughout the night, I can sympathize, but at the same time, it is really funny. We're going to play the clip. I'm sure people have seen it. He's just screeching at them. And then the truckers are like, well, the honking will continue until freedom improves, my friend. We're fighting for you too. So let's move forward, because there is also the other insane thing the locals are trying to do. So Ottawa Police Chief Slolly says city is considering requesting help from Canadian Armed Forces to deal with the trucker protest.
Wait, is his name Slolly, or is that a misspelling of slowly? Did you just say that really slowly or something? That's so strange. Slolly.
He's got a learning disability. But
yeah, the army. Interesting.
We're going to call in the army. Remember the army that were training with the Chinese a while back?
Oh, yeah. Well, presumably we know what they were practicing for.
So we can enforce the Chinese solution to COVID, which is massive restrictions on liberty, instead of just get over it, get your vaccine and be done with it. That was what the liberal position was meant to be, but whatever. Yeah. So this is just... insane. But let's go and check up on what these horrible truckers are doing. Why do we need the army? The army to come in and start gunning these people down. So you can see here, they're doing horrible things. They're just cooking pizza. They set up little pizza ovens. They're cooking pizzas.
It's adorable.
Yeah. Apparently they're handing out free pizzas, as the guy writes here as well. There's just piles and piles of pizzas that they're making. Horrible. Disgusting. How can they do this? And if we move to the next one, we can see some other disgusting activities, such as playing hockey.
Canadians will be Canadians.
Very un-Canadian of them. Clearly Russian assets. Ridiculous. We go to the next one. We can also see they're building a community. So they're actually setting up structures now. And I love Poso there. Love his account change. But also the fact that he makes the point that compare this to the ridiculous tents and farms.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. Right.
Yeah.
So in the Chaz, they tried to set up these farms and it was pathetic. Like any old person in this country with an allotment could make more produce come out of the ground.
And regularly do.
Than the lunatics in the Chaz and the Chop. And I bet these guys could do it even in the middle of the Canadian winter. I think they'd have a better yield. But that's brilliant. Love to see.
For people listening, they're setting up some kind of structure out of wood here to presumably serve more pizzas or something. Who knows? And it's professionally done because these people know what they're doing with their lives. They're actually productive and instead of the anarchists.
Yeah, they're truckers. They're practical people. They don't sit on Instagram all day wondering about how they would teach someone in an anarchist commune how to read the newest ideological literature. They actually have practical skills.
Absolutely true. They have one other practical skill as well, which is being sexy.
Oh, right.
Truckers are very sexy, at least according to the queer feminists of Reddit.
Lol.
So this is a post someone sent me. So this is someone saying, I'm really upset at what is clearly a masculine expression of anger, the loud horns, the trucks, the unwashed men sleeping in their trucks. Oh, God, whilst these men may have a certain swagger, it's like, where's this going? Someone responds, you're so right. This whole show is just entitled male syndrome on crack. There's plenty of crazy ladies among them, someone else says. And then someone writes, yes, we noticed them. But as a queer feminist, I hate to say it, those guys look rugged. Not very queer now, are we, my queer feminist friend? Oh, boy. That's moving on. So that's the other practical skill, of course, they have of being sexy. But then they also have the practical skill of making very good jokes. So this is someone here. If we could scroll down to this, it's a video. This guy turns up to McDonald's. Yeah, that's
hello, can I get...
Collecting the My Rewards today?
No, thank you.
No worries. How may I help you?
Can I get...
Ah, damn in there. But he just says, can I get the Trudeau special? And then she's like, what the hell is that? And he goes, the McChicken. And then she just loses it, which is just wholesome as hell. So, it's just like everyone's in on it. But speaking of Trudeau, I mean, where the hell is Trudeau? And this was a question that's been asked because he disappeared. And of course, he's been in this little safe house. I don't know what to call it. You know, what dictators usually have. If we move on, we can see what he's been up to. So this is his account. He decided to try the race card one more.
Sorry, I just love the fact that he's disappeared like Saddam Hussein after the invasion of Iraq.
He's in the bunker.
Where is Trudeau? Will we ever find his bolt hole? Maybe someone will tip us off.
Do you know the Saddam meme with like him in red underneath? Okay, people don't know what I talk about. Just change that for Trudeau. I want to see that. But as you can see here, he decided to go with le racism again. Let's call them le racist. There's no Canada, like French Canada. No. So this is him saying, today in the House of Members of Parliament unanimously condemned the anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, the anti-black racism, homophobia and transphobia and fucking, you know, put phobia at the end of it. Arachnophobia that they've displayed in Ottawa over the past number of days. A man who is clearly desperate.
Yeah, because it's the truckers who are motivated by irrational fear, not the president who has fled the capital to an undisclosed location.
I'm not even going to address this crap.
Yeah.
This is clearly a man who is scared, running scared. He is throwing everything that he has. This is his typical progressive moves of just being like, yeah, but did you know they're bigoted? And then, no, we're not going to play with this game. But then we go to the next one, because there's another funny tweet in which Jack Poso put out saying that whilst he said that took place in the Parliament, also a motion was brought down to condemn the use of blackface. And as Poso says, the Liberal Party votes down a motion to condemn the use of blackface on the first day of Black History Month in Canadian Parliament. Very spicy, boys. Of course, because Prime Minister Blackface wouldn't have looked too good in his blackface, if that was the case. But let's move forward, because Justin also decided to make another speech. And as you can see here, he says, to the nearly 90% of truckers across the country who've gotten their vaccine and are working hard to keep shelves stocked in our economy moving, thank you. We just just like we relied on you, you can rely on us to stand with you. Like, you're making this in the middle of the Truckistan protests. We stand with you, truckers, for getting your vaccine. I love how he just implicitly admits as well. You know when you were calling them anti-vaxxers? 90% have got the vaccine. It's not very anti-vaxxer of them.
Yeah.
Very disappointed from the
He's
anti-vaxxer
trying to say
faction.
that the one... Basically, this is an oblique way of saying that the ones in the capital are a fringe minority.
Except they're just not.
And I think
by
you'll
the
find that a
evidence.
lot of the truckers in the capital will also have been vaccinated, and they are protesting not for themselves, but on behalf of all of the truckers and all of the Canadian people whose freedoms have been restricted by goons like this.
Exactly. And then we move forward, we can also find there's a really funny post that Carl mentioned, which is that the autists on 4chan have immediately found where he was as well, because God bless the autistic astronomers of 4chan.com. I don't know what to say. It's not org, isn't it? But let's move forward, because there's also the blockade that was taking place on the US border, and this is a really awesome update from this guy here. And if we scroll down, you can see the footage in which, so there's that one border that is really vital, so the local truckers just blockaded it on the US side, and then the farmers are going to join them. So the police set up this blockade, as you can see, to stop the farmers, and the farmers were just like, Lamau, good shot, just drove past them.
What, off-road?
Yeah, just as you can see, they're just going past. If we go to, I don't know if we go to the next one, you can see someone saying this is fantastic because the police like helpless. Let's play this one as well because I think it's a better angle. You can see the fact that they're just go to hell. Like the police are all there and everyone's just like, bye. You don't have any power anymore. You can't insist that we're not allowed to go and help these people.
It really shows you how powerless the authorities are when people actually stand up to them.
Yeah. I mean, this is the beauty of the Truckistan protests. Is we're all being inspired as to what is really the case, which is we have power, not them. And there is also some other beautiful things, as we can see if we go to the next one. We had those farmers as reinforcements on the west side. And in Ottawa, we've got the Polish reinforcements turning up. So this is some lovely lady who's turned up with loads of Polish sausages to help feed them. And then she says, we came from communism. We want a free country. So God bless the Poles. Always on the right side of history.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And I mentioned the victories that are coming. And I think we'll end off with that. So if we go to the last link here, here's an update from some Conservative member of Parliament. And he says, the Quebec government has dropped the idea of taxing unvaccinated people. Other provinces are announcing they'll remove their mandates. Amazing. The tide is turning towards freedom. Hashtag freedom, not fear. Hashtag thank a trucker, as Trudeau used to say. And that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the full thing, of course, but it's nice to see that it's immediately having an effect, which is people are realizing, oh, crap,
Yeah.
the plebs don't agree. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, they've blocked my capital. Oh, wait, no, they're just setting up to stay here forever. What will I do? I can't sleep. I haven't slept in 5 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the obvious solution is just stop being a tyrant. And
But, yeah.
the victories are coming in.
The truckers do have to stick to their guns, though, because the politicians will try and throw these things down. Oh, we won't do this. We'll take this back one by one. And what they're hoping is that at some point the truckers will all go home and then they can quietly bring it all back.
No.
Making sure on the other side that they introduce laws and measures so that they can stop this happening again, which they absolutely will do. It'll be very hard, I think, to have another truckers' protest of this scale because now the establishment expects it. So I think that's even more reason to double down on this one until you get the concessions that the people of Canada need.
Yeah, I mean, the two demands are fundamentally no more vaccine mandates and Trudeau gone. And, well, you've got to get rid of Trudeau to make sure the vaccine mandates don't come back. So he'll just do it again, won't he? And then they'll try and make some measures to stop the truckers from protecting Canada ever again. Although I do like to end off here. So this is an account called Truckers for Freedom. You can find them on Getter and Twitter. And I just love this image here, as they've seen, because this has been inspiring not only in Canada, but around the world, especially the Anglosphere. And this is a great idea someone came up with, which, as you can see by this high-quality graphic, is let's just take all the trucks and go to the Mexico border and just blockade the border. Then what?
Would that be building a wall by any chance?
Could build a wall of trucks and just patrol the border. What are they going to do? Stop us? Well, they didn't in Canada, did they?
It's amazing how the truck is becoming the symbol of freedom in the West.
Absolutely. I mean, I love how it's a symbol of power, really, over the power structures. I've mentioned before, and I mentioned it again, which is in the Soviet Union, the coal miners were able to have that kind of power and leverage over the state. The state couldn't just kill them all. Because they'd be like, oh, well, where's your coal coming from? Yeah, good job. Not going to happen. So talk to us instead of trying to shoot us. And the similar situation is with truckers and supply lines in the West in modern day. And I've seen a lot of this, a lot of like corporate media responding to the Truckistan protests by saying that we should automate the truck faster. We need to get this done now.
Right, okay.
And it's because
Get
they
rid of
know
the drivers,
everyone's realized, wait, there's huge leverage here. And truckers are not insane progressive cosmopolitans, so they are diametrically opposed to what you're planning.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that they can and probably will do in the next few years to try and stop this happening again. And one of them would simply be to essentially make it difficult, impossible, or even illegal to actually privately own a truck. If you could make sure it was just businesses holding them, then you have more leverage over businesses than you do over people, and so on and so forth. So I expect an attack on the freedom of truck drivers is coming in the aftermath of this, but it will have to come very slowly and carefully, because I think if this carries on, this will bring down Trudeau's government, and it may be the first time in a long time, probably in the whole of Canada's history, where a government was brought down by civil disobedience.
Which would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Also, we should be inspired in the rest of the Anglosphere to realise the power that we have here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to subscribe to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this episode, which is a premium podcast that Carl and Harry did together on scientific nonce advocacy, which, if nothing else, it will prove that science is not ethical. But if you also want to follow Harry, you can go to him on Getter and follow him at Harry Lotus Eater. Thank you and goodbye.